Today Kelly Dodd was on Jeff Lewis, and Kelly Dodd was saying that you were really pissed off at Elizabeth, and how this whole thing leaked and you had nothing to do with it, and it's not true. And Kelly Dodd says you're really pissed off. So I figured since you're here, we might as well hear from you directly.
Yeah, that's. I'm glad you did because also Vicki went on and told an inaccurate story. I actually, if you're not following me, follow me at Jimmy Bellino Palm Springs. I told the whole story on there on my Instagram live, which is in my reels. I'm just getting ready to sit down here. Um, at my beautiful country club, you guys can see it.
Oh, we should have done this at your country club.
Anyways,
Our next live.
Sit down. So the real story is that Elizabeth Vargas DM'd me. I've told you this story, Sarah.
Yep.
Elizabeth DM'd me, said we should get together and have a drink. She's single, I'm single. And she says, I have a house in the desert. You have a house in the desert? I have a house at the beach. You have a house at the beach. Plus, she sells a vodka line, and I have restaurants. So I went and picked her up at her house. Tasted the vodka, was very good. And we went to dinner at the Quiet Woman. And she gave the server her camera and took a photo of us. And then the next day, she said, somebody got a photo of us and it's going to go viral. It's being released by TMZ. I'm thinking like somebody maybe three doors down. Three booths down from us. You know how people take pictures of people, they recognize it. So somebody might have got a photo of us. So when that happened, it wasn't a big deal. It didn't even dawn on me, right? So then I saw the photo and I knew it was Sarah's photo. And I was pissed because the one thing I said was, don't send this photo anywhere. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody disappeared on the photos, but or on the images. So I can't see you guys.
Oh.
But and so I text Elizabeth and I said, what the fuck? Why is this photo out?
Yeah.
You're the only one that had it. And she kind of just, for lack of better words, double talked it and then blamed it on a girlfriend, sent it to a girlfriend, the girlfriend sent it to TMZ, blah, blah, blah. So that was the only time we'd ever been out. We haven't been out since. And that's the end of the story. I put the fake news fire out. Sarah helped me really quickly, and that's it. That's the long and short of it.
What did Vicki say? I mean, sometimes this Vicki Gumbelson says things that are not exactly true. What did Vicki say that wasn't true?
They told an inaccurate story. So let me. I mean, this isn't being recorded. Where it's going to go. Is it going to go on your website? I mean, on your podcast, Sarah?
No, it's not going to be on my podcast.
It might go on my Patreon, just parts of it.
But no, I don't care. I mean, I'm going to tell the accurate story.
Okay. Yeah, I would answer everything that you want on the record because obviously all our guests are here, so people could repeat it. So say what you're willing to have repeated.
What happened? Where the confusion and Vicki told the story, and here's exactly what happened. Where the confusion was, is that I didn't watch that season of Housewives when Elizabeth Vargas was on. I had no idea who she was. But when she DM'd me, what any normal person would do when somebody possibly wants to date you is you look on their Instagram. So I knew exactly who she was at that point, just because I looked at her Instagram, right? Attractive lady. And so I asked Siri, how old is Elizabeth Vargas? And Siri told me Elizabeth Vargas was 62. So what's funny is it was Elizabeth Vargas, the newscaster. So that's where the confusion was. I knew that Elizabeth wasn't Elizabeth Vargas, the newscaster. Vicki tells a story that I didn't know who I was going out with when I went out with her. I didn't know what she looked like, and I thought she was Elizabeth Vargas, the newscaster, which is a story that Kelly told Vicki, which is what, according to Vicki. I'm not really happy with Kelly right now, frankly.
Yeah, they're all telling a bunch of stories about you. And Vicki says the whole thing like was catfish, basically. And yeah, like you've said, and you've told me a couple times, you knew who she was.
Was it a catfish?
Yeah.
I realized she was obviously 49 when I saw her. I thought she looked younger than that, frankly. She's a beautiful lady. Um, but just we never saw each other after that because you don't build anything based on a lie, and putting that video out like she did, I mean the photo out like she did, or a girlfriend or whomever. I don't like being used for any kind of I don't want to be on display in my private life. I'm very private in my private life. So
I
that's
now I have one follow-up question. Why aren't you happy with Kelly right now?
um because if I tell a friend something in confidence, don't repeat it. And especially not to Vicki. You know, keep your mouth shut. I told you something in confidence. You don't pick up the phone and call somebody and tell them something I told you in confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They both like hung you out. Well, all three of them. I mean, because my personal opinion, I don't know this for fact, but my personal opinion is that Elizabeth sent it to TMZ. Because I mean, we're all out here in LA. She knows all the people that email.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, she told me it was going to TMZ that morning. So how does she know
then,
that?
Right. And if it's on her phone, who else she's either sent it to a friend to send it, or she's sending it, or her PR rep or somebody.
What's ironic to me, and Sarah, you and I did a podcast, 2 weeks ago now?
Yep.
How's that podcast doing?
Great. It's
Top
one of my
rated,
highest
Sarah?
rated. Yeah, top rated. Yes.
I think it was in the top 25 for a while, but the point of that, the frustrating thing to me is, oh, now they find me interesting, so I'm going to be used for content for other people, and I don't like that. I don't roll like that. So I'm really black and white, and you fucked me once, and I'm done. So
I'm the same way. I mean, in my experience, Kelly Dodd has a big mouth. She's the last person you'd want to tell something to, but I don't want to sway anyone, and it's just my opinion of Kelly.
lesson learned.
Lesson learned. I'm the same way. It's like if someone fucks me once, I hope you enjoyed it because that will be the last time.
I totally agree.
I know other people have questions, but this is the last thing I'll say. But I mean, David, don't you think that circle of women would do anything to like forward a storyline? I just feel like they use Jimmy because Jimmy is hot right now. You know, everybody's talking. So I feel like all of them are going to use anything they can.
I just think Sarah and I talk about gossip and things we heard. I have situations with people like you, Jimmy, and like people like I was out with PK from Beverly Hills one night. Like when you tell me something because of my job and we're hanging out, I really don't repeat it. It's like if someone's like, this is not to be repeated or whatever, I find Kelly to run and put it on air no matter what anyone tells her, which is fine if you hear it. Like if Sarah and I hear things, that's what we talk about. But if someone says this is not for your podcast, I truly honor that.
Well, I'm going to speak to my experience because I don't, David, I happen to agree with you in this situation because my experience was that's what she did. And I thought she was a friend. So I'm frustrated. I've told Sarah a lot of things in confidence. I think part of why Sarah's as successful as she is because she respects and honors relationships. And I consider Sarah a friend now. And I think we had a very, very open and successful dialogue. And I opened up more than I would have to anybody else on that podcast because of just her intentions, the trust, and just getting the real me out,
Yeah, it's really good. I'm really grateful for you, Jimmy. It was awesome. I think people loved hearing your evolution, which hopefully is